everyone, I'm Darryn Posen. Hello, I'm one of the animation pros at Animation Critique, and hello to Pixelsmithstudios. Thank you guys for the opportunity for this interview. It's going to be great. So a little bit about myself. I have been animating for about 13 years now, mostly in South Africa, on film and television series. Done a bit of work overseas as well. More recently, I've worked on Stickman, which you know did very well. So I'm based at Pixelsmithstudios. And at the beginning of this year, 2016, I made the move actually into the games industry. And so now I am the animation director of the games division at Pixelsmithstudios. Bit of a mouthful, but that's about what I'm up to at the moment. And thoroughly enjoying it, by the way, really enjoying the challenge of, or the new challenge, I should say, of working in games. Really, really awesome people. All right, let's get to these questions. First one up. In a nutshell, what is animation critique? Okay, well, basically, it's just an online animation feedback service. We will receive videos from clients, and we will critique them. We'll do draw-overs, and we will give them feedback on their animation, on how to improve it. Our goal really is to help make animators the best animators they can possibly be at a really affordable price. So yeah, that's that's it in a nutshell. What else can I tell you about it? Who is it for? Let's see. Well, individuals, students, people working on their show reels, people working on their own passion projects. We're also wanting to get involved with schools, get into their programs, and say, "Hey guys, you can use us. You know, we're a bunch of professional animators." Who are happy to help out, and that's the thing. Like all the pros at Animation Critique, all of us have had years and years and years of experience working in the industry and on some big blockbuster movies as well, and some big games, and we're really wanting to share that knowledge in a way that is actually affordable for as many people as possible. I'm also keen to help studios as well and step in there, almost be animation directors for hire, but all online. So that would be it in a nutshell. Let's see, next question. How did you hear about Animation Critique? Well, I heard about it actually when it was just a seed of an idea. So the founder of Animation Critique is a good friend of mine, Eric Lassard. Once again, just over 20 years experience in the industry, phenomenal animator, worked on some really, really big films. And he was here in Cape Town, where I'm based. He was here for a couple of months, and just before he was due to go back to Quebec, we had lunch together, and he said to me, "Hey, by the way, I've had an idea. I'm thinking of calling Animation Critique, and this is what it's going to be about, and this is what I'd like to do. What do you think?" And I thought, wow, yeah, let's give it a shot. You know, we both have experience not only in the industry but also teaching in the classroom and at online animation schools, and we're like, yeah, we love teaching and we love seeing great quality animation. We love helping people get as good as they can. So I was like, well, let's give it a shot. You know, we're both still working in the industry. We're both still animation directors at our respective studios. So this is a nice little added extra for everyone else. All right. How does it work? Cool. I think that the best thing I can do here is to perhaps take you through the process. So let me do that. So if you go to our let me hide myself here. There we go. So if you go to our website, www.animationcritique.com. You'll get to our homepage. Here it is. And actually, if I scroll down here, by the way, you scroll down a little bit, you'll see this button, see the pros and actions. So that you click that, it'll take you to a video, and it'll show you just all of us doing our thing, how the videos work, how we give feedback, how we do our draw-overs. If you just scroll down on this homepage, you get to this section here which says Meet the Pros. And you can get to read about the other guys that I have the absolute pleasure of working with. Jeff Joe and Pablo Navarro. They are absolutely fantastic guys. Pablo here is our 2D specialist in traditional as well, and absolute fount of knowledge and talent. He's been in the industry for over 20 years, worked on some amazing blockbuster movies. If you haven't seen Noctura, I highly recommend that you watch that film. It is just, the animation, it is gorgeous. And Jeff Hare as well, absolutely talented guy, fount of knowledge, over 20 years experience in the industry. Absolute pleasure to work with. He's also worked on some blockbuster movies. He's worked on things like Ice Age and Shrek and Madagascar and a whole bunch of others. So yeah, as you can see, the team that we have put together is just totally fantastic. But the question was, how does it work? So quite simply, you can see in the top right-hand corner the big red button, Submit Your Shot. So let's just do that. Let's click on that. And here we go. You're in the Submit Your Shot page. If you scroll down, it just gives you an idea of the sort of how long a critique you want, whether you want 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 60 minutes. So that's not the length of your shot that you're submitting, that's the length of the video feedback we'll give back to you. So we'll be giving back 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So you just got to select whichever one, particularly if you're an individual. It'll work differently if you're a school or a company. But if you're an individual, so you can select one of these and then just click on Next, which then takes you to this page. Basically, I mean, you can see what it says here. It's your personal, some of your personal details, and our privacy policy. Obviously, like we don't share any of this information with anyone else, and it's really just first name, last name, and your email address, and then you can move right on to the very next page, which basically takes you here. So this is the bit where you literally upload your shot, stick it in there, upload it, and answer a couple of very simple questions, which I'll explain to you as we go, most self-explanatory. Have you ever received a critique for this shot? That's pretty self-explanatory. Should we critique the whole shot? So basically what we're asking here is, yes, the entire shot you've sent is what you'd like critiqued, or if you just want a section of it, from which frame to which frame, just let us know. The importance of these questions is because we really, really want to give the feedback that you need to hear. We don't want to end up critiquing the shot in such a way and the client goes, oh, that's not what I was looking for. So the challenge that we have is we really need to get inside the mind of the client and what they're looking for. So this is why we're asking all these questions. Of course, if you just want us to critique the whole shot and say, hey, go for it, then that's probably just the easiest thing for us. Anyway, let's get back to it. So we'll click on Next. And this page is basically just asking which stage of your animation is it at. The planning stage, blocking, refining, polish. Obviously, it's far easier for us if we've started at the very beginning of the shot with you. We've taken it with you. We've walked you through planning all the way to final polish. But sometimes, and this has happened, where people have just submitted a shot that they've already considered final, or not final, but near to final and polish, and they just want our input on it. And so we'll do that, which is totally fine. The next question, the style of animation, like is it realistic, is it cartoony, what kind of cartoony, Warner Brothers, Tex Avery, Is it traditional, more like Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, or something else? These questions are really important for us to know. But perhaps the most important question, which is quite lengthy in its writing, which is here, is which we'd really like to know. Basically, what it's asking is, are you happy for us to say, listen, you should consider redoing the shot? Um, Basically, if we haven't gone from beginning to end with you, we've kind of come in halfway through the process, and you've submitted stuff, and we've looked at it, and we said, well, listen, this is the sort of feedback we would give in studios. We would say, listen, it's probably best you start this again. Um, and so we're asking you, the client, would you be happy with that? Yes or no? If yes, great, then we'll say, and if it happens that we have to say, listen, I really think take this shot back a stage, take it back to blocking, and let's do X, Y, Z, and really lift it there. If not, that's totally fine. We're totally cool with that, and we'll just work with what we've got. However, I would strongly recommend that if we say take it back a stage or two, that you do. At the end of the day, there's no substitute for quality. Like you really want to be right up there, churning out the best quality you can. Anyway, next, let's go to next. And once again, this is just a one last step just for you to tell us a little bit more about your shot. Let us know what you're trying to achieve with it. If there's anything specific wanting us to look at, like you can say literally, like, listen, please don't comment on anything else. I'm just struggling with lip sync. Please help me get the lip sync right, for example. And so you're very welcome to do that as well. The next set of questions here is just for you to tell us a bit more about yourself, so we know who we're talking to. It's quite important for us to know, like, if we're critiquing a student or someone who's trying to perhaps get a job, or a professional animator, what your current situation is. Once again, all of this information remains completely private. How many years of experience that you have, it really helps us in the sort of style of feedback that we're going to give. If we feel like perhaps we should slow it down a little bit, or if we can just like really punch through quite quickly some of the topics that we're going to try and cover. And then, yeah, that's it. You get taken to the payment page, and off you go. That's the process. It can be very quick. We try not to ask too many questions, but you understand we do need to know a few important points there. All right, let's get to the next. Move my camera. Let's get to the next question. What do you like about animation critique? Well, I like the fact that there's a whole bunch of us working together. We can cover large volumes because we're a team and we're based around the world. We've got guys in Canada, America, Spain, myself in South Africa right now, and that's great. And we all get on, and we're all very passionate about what we do. So that's fantastic. I like the fact that we're trying to give the chance to as many animators as possible to really improve and to focus on quality, and to say, listen, yeah, we're going to jam pack these feedback videos with information that will really help improve your work to be something that you can be proud of. So yeah, that's all stuff I like about animation critique. I'm sure I could think of more, actually, but I can't have this interview going on too long. So let's go on to the next question. How do you see animation critique benefiting the industry in South Africa? Well, pretty much for all of the reasons I mentioned. I think for South Africans, getting access to high quality feedback um, it can be very difficult. We know like some of the best animation in the world happened overseas, and some of the best animators and leaders in the world are overseas, and it's not easy to get that input from them. Whereas animation critique, so this is kind of tying in with what I like about animation critique, is we're kind of all working together to get that sort of high level quality feedback um, to animators here in South Africa. And the fact that every single one of us, the pros at Animation Critique, we've all remained current in the industry. We're all animation directors at our respective studios, wherever they are in the world. So we haven't stopped, and all of us have teaching experience. I think I might have mentioned that already. So we haven't stopped what we're doing. We're still doing it, and then in our own time, we're doing this sort of feedback. And it's the exact same sort of feedback we would give in the studio to the animators that we work with when we're directing, when we're leading or supervising. So you'll be getting the exact same quality feedback that you would have got if you had worked in that studio. And I think that has tons of benefit for the industry in South Africa, particularly because I happen to know a whole lot of animators in this industry, in this country. These guys are really passionate, fast learners. Like South Africa can really churn out some really, really good stuff, and I'm very pleased to be among those people as well. So I think, yeah, it can only go up from here. And let's see, next question, which I think might be the final question. Oh, what else can we expect to see coming from Animation Critique? Okay, very quickly. So we're going to be starting a blog very soon, and in that blog we're going to be covering things like acting for animation. So you guys will have access to that. We'll be covering going over the 12 principles of animation, which lots of schools have done. We'll be doing it in our own way, our own style. We'll include it, or hoping to include it in our critiques, so you can see how principles would work within your particular video that you're doing. So that should be very good. And then something else I'm super excited about this one called, we're still working on the name, but struggling to spit this one out, but it's almost a why is it good kind of video where we critique up and coming animated films or animated whatever that's coming out, the high quality stuff. And the reason I'm excited about it is because often it's so easy to look at bad work and say, well, I know why that's wrong. The lip sync is out. The elbows and knees are popping. It's too floaty. It's too jerky. I can see why it's wrong, but often we can't see why something is so good. It's just good. Why is it good? You can't put it into words. But part of our job as animation directors is to make something good. So we have to be able to verbalize and explain how to get a shot up to being great quality. And so we'll be looking at shots like that and saying, okay, well, guys, this is why it's so good. So that people, younger animators, can learn to look at something themselves and be critical about it, see why it's good, perhaps look at their own work and go, this is why I need to do this, because I want it to look that good. So that's why I'm really excited about that particular one that's coming up. Time's just about up here. Is this the last? Yes, that's the last question. Great. Guys, thank you once again, Pixelsmith, for this interview. To all the animators out there around the world and in my home country of South Africa, all the best. I hope to see some of you, if not all of you, either here, Animation Critique, online, or maybe in the workplace. All right. Thanks again, guys. Bye now.